Let's talk about a Java keyword called this. Do you see our fields named student ID and the student name? They are fields also known as instance variables and sometimes called global variables. Java has three types of variables: instance variable, class variable, and local variable. In some cases, you may hear a parameter mentioned as a parameter variable because the value can change. This program has two fields, aka instance variables, with the same name as two parameters, student ID and student name. There's confusion when a program has an instance variable and local variable with the same name. To avoid confusion, we use keyword this, which refers to the instance variable. Therefore, we write this dot before student ID equal to student ID, and this dot student name equal to student name. Do you see the color of each word? The color gives us a tip regarding which one is the instance and which one is the local. Another tip is clicking the variable. If I click this dot student ID, then the instance variable and this student ID both highlight. The same happens when clicking student ID inside the parentheses. We see student ID without this dot highlight. We use keyword this inside constructors and methods. It's not required to have an instance variable and local variable with the same name. We can choose to provide different names. For example, I would create another constructor and name it public student with two parameters: string stud name, int stud ID. Now, when I write this here, this dot student name, it will equal stud name. The names are not the same. Also, if we wanted to, we can leave off the keyword this by writing student ID equal to stud ID. However, it's best to be consistent. You can make both words the same and write keyword this. You can make both words different or write keyword this when both words are not the same. Either way, just be consistent with your program. Personally, I like my naming convention to be descriptive, so I picked the first two syntaxes. Also, using the keyword this prevents discrepancies, limit redundancy, and increase readability. Let's test our program by creating a method called public void display student info. Sys out student ID equals plus this dot student ID. Let's skip a line and we're going to add student name equals this dot student name. We're going to skip a line one more time by backspace N. Let's also create another class. Right click, keyword this, the package, new class. The name will be test this keyword. Click the checkbox for main public static void main. Student. Student 1 is the object. New student. Constructor would be student ID and student name. Student ID is 1, 2, 3, 4. Student name is Mary. Object student 1 dot display student info. Let's create one more object for student 2, new student, and this time we will select stud name and stud ID. Stud name will be James. Stud ID will be 5678. Let's write the object and call the method display student info. Now let's run. The console shows the correct information, student ID and student name. That's a quick video on the keyword this. If you like the video, consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and clicking the bell icon to receive notification. Also, click like on the video. You can also follow me on Twitter, connect with me on LinkedIn and Facebook, and the code and transcript will be available on GitHub. And I will see you in the next video.
Books available in paperback, ebook, and PDF. All Part 1 ebooks and PDF documents are free. Programming books for UFT. Programming books for Java. Here's the Selenium Automation book. And TestNG. Subscribe to get notification of future videos. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.